This just in, the Supreme Court has come down to make some decisions. It turns out, though, these decisions aren't very smart. Let's get into it. Hey freethinkers, Chandler here, and before I start the video, I should just update you guys. There's been a lot of madness going on with my YouTube channel. First things first, as you guys know, my channel was completely demonetized, but on top of this, all of my videos were taken down for a short period. Then when I brought them back up, I received some community guideline strikes. So we've been having a lot of issues with the channel, and what I've decided to do is that we're going to officially retire this channel from videos. So as you may notice, this channel is now named Chandler Crump Live, which means that for the time being, we'll mostly be doing live streams on this channel, which means that I'll be having to open up a new channel to post my videos to. Now, I'm going to upload this video on Chandler Crump Live and the new main Chandler Crump channel, which you'll see linked in the description, see linked in my featured channels. It's linked everywhere. You can check it out. It's just called Chandler Crump. It's the channel that used to be Real C Stories, but now I'm going to be posting all of my normal videos up there from now on. But what I want to encourage even more so is that you guys check out my alternative video platforms like Rumble or like Odyssey. Both of those are also linked in the description. As you guys know, these last few months have been terrible on social media for as many conservatives as possible for that they could attack, so get on as many of those alternative social medias as you can. Gab, Parler's back, Minds, all those different social medias, I'm up there, so be sure to check me out, follow me, and let's keep this going. But now it's time to get into the real story of the day, because things are not quite what they seem. Now, you guys may remember that over the last few years of the Trump administration, he's been able to nominate not one, not two, but 3 Supreme Court justices, one of them even very recent, that was Amy Coney Barrett, and then before that, everybody remembers Kavanaugh back in 2018 with that whole mess, that whole kerfuffle, as some people would say, and they tried to take him down, but it didn't quite work, and then even before that, it was very low profile about Neil Gorsuch as well. Well, these Supreme Court justices aren't doing too good of a job of keeping up and upholding the principles of the Constitution like they were nominated and confirmed by the Senate to do, because as you guys may know, with the election fraud cases, there were a lot of cases that were elevated all the way up to the Supreme Court level, one of these being a very recent Philadelphia and Georgia case, I believe. Now, this case had a lot of weight behind it. It could have disqualified a lot of the things with the election. It probably would not have unseated Biden, but it would have shown that the Supreme Court, in the end, noticed everything that happened with the voter fraud, noticed everything that happened with the mail-in votes, and recognizes that it may have made some bad choices before when it ruled those cases as moot. Now, what did the Supreme Court do? Well, aside from 3 dissenting justices, yes, 3, and you're not going to guess whose these 3 are because you would guess one thing, but it's not this thing, but 3 of the Supreme Court justices disagreed, but the majority of the Supreme Court agreed that the Philadelphia, Georgia election fraud case was moot. So they wouldn't even hear it. You guys may remember back when there was still a little uncertainty of who the president will actually be, that there was another case the Supreme Court ruled as moot, I should say, not mute, but though them not wanting to hear it might as well be muting the TV screen and actually listening to the truth. But yeah, they ruled both of those cases as moot, including this one, so they kicked the case out of the court. Now, the 3 Supreme Court justices who decided to dissent are as follows: Supreme Court Justice Alito, Supreme Court Justice Thomas, and Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch. So ACB and Kavanaugh both completely, notably silent. All the other ones you could probably guess they would have been that way, even some of the conservative ones, but you know, it's either way. The rest of them were completely silent except for those 3 judges. So they said, while we don't really know how much of merit this case has, we do know for a fact that, you know, the mail-in voting thing should have been heard. So that's the basic dissenting opinion, that these 3 judges believe, or these 3 justices I should say, believe that this case should have at least been heard. But no matter what, this case has been thrown out. And thrown out in the way that they didn't even hear it. So not even judging by the merit or anything, just judging by the standing. There's no standing. The case is moot. And that gets us back to the whole point of, what is the Supreme Court even doing anymore? Because if they're not going to uphold the Constitution, if they're not going to do their job, then what are they going to do? Well, I think we know what they're going to do, because in the exact same day, or at least the exact same time period that they decided that this election fraud case was completely moot, they went on to approve, or maybe not necessarily approve, but not say they disagree with a New York prosecutor who is trying to attack Trump and gain access to his tax returns so you can unveil them to the world and do whatever that would do. I mean, this was an effort that had been going on since the election the last election before this one, since 2016, when they were like, oh, Trump, you don't pay your taxes or something like that, and that's a whole different mess, and whether he pays his taxes or not, that's somebody else's business, definitely not ours, definitely not mine. But the bottom line is, they're trying to get him to reveal his tax returns, and they're trying to go through every legal way they can to gain access to those. And the Supreme Court was one of those final lock steps, one of those final doors, one of those final, what do you call it, one of those drawbridges that decides whether that can or cannot happen. And they opened the door. Now, they didn't say come on in, they just opened the door and said we're completely fine with you gaining access to the tax returns, which sets a very dangerous precedent, as has a lot of these things these days. You know, with the impeachment, the House is now introducing a thing to, if you get impeached twice, you won't get put in Arlington and you won't get any libraries or any insane stuff like that. These people are trying to do everything they can to destroy Trump. Little do they know that everything they do will soon be weaponized, possibly against them or against their friends, or just the American people in general. Because that's one thing the Democrats don't seem to really care about, is setting a dangerous precedent. And that's what we've seen in all their actions in these last few months, dare I say even years. But that's neither here nor there. We don't know what's going to happen next, but what I do know is that there's a lot of insanity, and I'm going to do my best to continue to cover it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Like I said, this channel is being attacked every which way, so if you can, please make sure you subscribe, you hit that like button, and you also make sure you check out my new video channel, which is just called Chandler Crump. The one you're probably watching this on, my old channel, is Chandler Crump Live, where we'll be doing live streams. So if you'd like to gain access to all my new videos, all my content, definitely be sure to join my YouTube, my new YouTube. If you'd like to support the continued content creation on either of these channels and these live streams, then definitely please make sure you check out my donor box. If you'd like to check out some of our new merchandise designs, please sure to head over to chandlercrump.com. And if you'd like to gain access to exclusive content that won't be posted on any YouTube or anything like that, you can go to my locals at chandlercrump.locals.com. But aside from all that, I'll catch you next time, free thinkers. Don't forget to spread the virus of intelligence.